Hello and welcome to Carbon Books. This is one of our beautiful books, Carbon, the Carbonologist and The Hypagasm. This is two of my books in one. This is The Hypagasm and the Carbonist Manifesto. The first half of this book goes into the history of the hypagasm, how to generate them, how to be careful when you have them, what it's all about. We look at the history of sexuality, we look at the gender model, we even look at mental illness that comes into the discussion. We look at the effects of modern life on human sexuality and how that's changed and evolved, and many other things besides. And within this particular section I tell people how to generate a hypagasm. It's a dramatically more intense and dramatically longer experience with totally different symptoms. You get very unusual effects like a head sweat. You end up with what I call microjolts at the end, which can last for over half an hour. Very, very different experience altogether. It's a miracle human beings haven't discovered this before. So that's the first part of the book. That's absolutely mind-blowing stuff, I can tell you. The second half is the Carbonist Manifesto, which is based on my theory, the theory of carbonology, which explains all life in the universe, how it comes about through the element carbon and the atom of carbon, such that a human being, such as myself, is in fact a gigantic type of carbon atom. That's what living things are, from birds to trees to worms. They're all carbon in different states and different states of development. So that goes into a lot of detail about that. The Carbon Manifesto itself at the very back goes into the history of humanism, my humanism, the fact that carbonism is a brand new worldview based on my theory of carbonology plus humanism. It goes through a huge amount of detail about my own experiences as a child, how I lost my religion at the age of 13 and became an atheist, although I didn't consciously decide to do that. And if you'd like to pause the video right now, you can read the back page and find out in more detail what this is all about. In the back of the book as well, in the Carbonist Manifesto, we look at things like the failure of the Ten Commandments, the wrong Ten Commandments. We look at how many Jesuses have existed. There have been an awful lot. It's not just one part. We look at the supernatural. We look at the evolution of the universe. We look at the evolution of the solar system and the Earth. We look at how life forms and how life will be the same all over the universe. Wherever it evolves, it'll be just like it has been on planet Earth. So lots and lots of things. The very back of the book we look at what a god is, not a supernatural god, but a god as in ourselves in decades from now. Human beings will eventually become godlike. We're already well on that way with the internet and all the modern technology we have. And then towards the back of the book we look at things like the scientific method, we look at the future of humanism and the principles behind carbonism itself. So let's have a little look at the book and see what we think. So it's a beautifully printed book. All of our books at Carbon Books are. Lovely glossy book. It's a very big book this. There's a lot to it because it's two books in one. So flicking through the very beginning of it, well, let's get the contents pages. There we go. If you'd like to pause the video now, you can read those. And then inside that we have two more contents pages. Like I said, this is a big book. So if you want to pause and read, and then finally the last contents page there, which you can pause and read. And life in the fast lane, because that's what the hypagasm is. So flicking through this book, awful lot to it, all the history of human sexuality, the nature of the gender model, how that works, male and female, different types of orgasms, different types of sexualities. We look at the gender model, that's the gender model we look at. And many other things besides. That's the first half of the book. We talk also about meditation techniques and reciprocal meditation, which is a technique I invented myself and use, and many other things besides. And then halfway through the book we get into, there's the theory of carbonology, which is always in my books, so that's nice and clear. And we look at other, and the other thing to point out about the hypagasm is there's nothing lewd or unsavoury about this aspect of the book. It's incredibly tame. There's the second half, the Carbonist Manifesto, life, the universe and everything, and we go through the evolution of the universe, humanism, all sorts of things about religion, my own experiences in religion, and predictions about the future of humankind. We also look at how many Jesuses there have been, the wrong Ten Commandments, we look at Noah's Ark, we look at all sorts of stuff. And at the very back we get into the scientific method. That section there is what a god is. So loads of stuff. So get yourself out there, get ordering it. It's $15.95 because it's a bigger book. Thank you.